right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Beauty Pop Podcast. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Jen.
And this week, we are going to do the Rhode review.
I'm excited about this.
I'm excited to tell you about it. There's some things that were pretty surprising, I will say. It's been 2 weeks of test drive, and yeah, it's interesting. And
I want to
also
look like a glazed donut, not like I like to eat them. I'd like to look like one instead.
Well, and you know, that is Hailey's whole thing. So
That's
Hailey Bieber, that's her jam. So yeah, so we'll talk about that and a little bit of House Labs, which is the Lady Gaga line of makeup, and I don't think she does skincare yet. She'll probably get into that, but her makeup line, House Labs, has been getting a lot of accolades. It's won some beauty awards. So I had my first interaction with that this week. So I'm excited to talk about that. And then you're going to tell us about a really great brand that I'm kind of obsessed with their lip balm. And we've talked about this before, the Korres brand. It's Korres, and it's a Greek company. I think they have like lots of natural, organic stuff that they use in their ingredients. I've tried a bunch of their different products, and I've never disliked any of them, including like they have like a fun, it's a combination basically between like a stick, like it's on a stick, because you know I like things on a stick.
I know.
And pens.
Double-ended.
It's a combination of like a lip liner and a really soft lipstick.
Oh, that's
that Korres
cool.
makes, and they come in all different colors, and they're like a little chubby pencil, and they're so easy to use, and they have lasting power, and they're hydrating. So that's another product that I found that I've loved, because I'm like, you know, I'm not like a lip liner. I'm basic.
Well, especially every day. Like, I mean, I get it when
Yeah.
you're going someplace, you want to do pictures or you want your lipstick to last, but if you're just throwing something on and going, you don't want to have to sit there drawing lips on.
Right. And you just want a little bit of color and a little bit of moisture. It's really perfect for that. So what product did you try from that line?
If you've listened to the podcast before, or if you're new, I have really dry skin. So does Victoria. And my skin is usually pretty parched, even during the summer months. And it's just I always need a really heavy hydration lotion. So fast forward now to about, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, you know, every once in a while your skin does funny things. And I don't know if it gets used to the products that you're using or if it's a hormonal thing. I don't know. I just know that my face felt really dull, and I just felt like I needed, you know, when you feel like you need to exfoliate. And so I did an exfoliation and I did my regular moisturizing routine. And the next, like 2 days later, I felt the same way again. And I thought, what is going on here? And so I thought I got to look through, because I have a lot of products, because I get a lot of different kits. We've talked about the Birchbox and the FabFitFun. And so when I hold on to products that I think I might want to use, I mean, I don't hold them forever, but at least for a couple of months, instead of just giving them away to my friends or to my colleagues at work. And so I pulled out the Korres Santorini Grape Poreless Skin Cream. And what caught my attention is right on the front, it talks about the salicylic acid that it has, and also the hyaluronic. God, I can't say anything today.
I always stumble on that word. Hyaluronic, I know.
You say it again?
Hyaluronic.
Hyaluronic.
Hyaluronic. That's how I remember it.
Do you ever
It goes back to Miss Piggy, you know? When she was always doing that. Yeah, that's how I remember.
I'm telling you, like, we record these at the end of the week, and by the time the end of the week comes, brain is Swiss cheese. It just is. Yeah. So it had both of those things, and it had it right on the front of the on the tube, and I thought, I'm going to try this. Maybe this is what I need to add into my routine, especially that salicylic acid that is supposed to be so good for kind of unclogging your pores and doing that exfoliation. Now, I looked it up online, and it said this is for oily to combination and sensitive skin. So I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but let's give it a try. Let's just see if I need to switch it up. And I love this. I've been using this for probably the last 5, 6, 7 days. And I feel like my skin tone is more even. The dullness that I was not happy with is gone. And I don't feel like that heaviness that I was feeling. Now, I don't think I'm going to use this all the way forever and into the winter months, because I think I'm going to probably want more moisture. But for a summertime moisturizer, especially after you've, you know, been outside a lot, or you've been, you know, just hard on your skin during the summer months when we spend more time outdoors, I really like this product. So it's lightweight. It's a gel moisturizer, but it still has the white cream consistency. They promise it blurs pores and controls shine. Those are not my issues necessarily, but I'd be really interested to know if any of you try this, if you've noticed that that happens. It's definitely hydrating. It's not over drying at all, but I really think that that salicylic acid is the key. I think that it's just helped me
Mm.
with that gentle exfoliation, the cell turnover, and I feel like it's also provided me some really great hydration as well. So I'm really loving this. And I think I'm going to probably keep this in as part of my summer routine, or maybe even I might buy a few more sample sizes and take it on vacations with me. Cause I think it's a nice way for your complexion to just brighten up with having to take a bunch of exfoliating products with you. So I'm a fan of
whenever
this.
that's great. And for people who don't know, Jen is in Los Angeles,
I
so
am.
you've got an extended summer and you've got
We
warmer
do.
months, for a while. And you've had if you've been like on the East Coast, it's just humidity central. It's been
Hmm.
so much rain, and I know you guys had a lot of rain this season too. So when you go on vacation, you go to Hawaii or you're always
Mexico.
in a
Yeah.
warm climate, or
Right.
Mexico. So you're always in a really nice warm climate. So that sounds like the perfect vacation moisturizer, because I don't
Right.
know about you, but when I'm on vacation, I like to be minimalist, and
Yeah.
just I want my skin to just feel light and not, like I don't
Well,
do my
and
normal routine.
for convenience, when you travel, we don't want to travel around with, 15 pounds of beauty products, right?
Which
So
I
I
end up
think,
doing anyway, and it's
yeah,
horrible.
I feel like this would actually combine any kind of serum that I'm using and a moisturizer kind of into one product. So I really like it. And it, like I said, it promises to smooth and create a smooth canvas for your skin. I feel like that's what it's been doing for me. I've only used it at night. I haven't used it as my daytime moisturizer. I'm still using my SPF. But just to get back to the environment for a second, first of all, there's a lot of crummy stuff in the air in Los Angeles. I've been
Hmm.
having construction at my house, and I swear I think that's part of it. I've had so much dust everywhere. I've had so much there's been a lot going on. People in and out of the house, that kind of stuff. Maybe it's psychosomatic, but I really feel like that was part of it. I just felt grimy on my face. And so this has really kind of left a clean finish, a smooth finish. And if anybody's used it, again, I'd be really curious, because I don't have the pore issues that a lot of people do when you have more oily skin, but I'm curious to know if other people use it for that, if it works.
That sounds really cool. And I know that feeling. Every once in a while I'll use a foaming cleanser,
Hmm.
because, foaming cleansers, like you said, we both have dry and sensitive skin. Foaming cleansers can be very drying for
Right.
your skin. But every once in a while, like if I've been at the beach, I live on the beach in New Jersey. So like if I've been at the beach all day and I have, SPF like 70, which is what I wear when I'm at the
Yeah.
beach, you just want a good foaming cleanser to just give you a clean slate
Strip it
again.
all off. Exactly.
Yeah, you just every once in a while it feels great to just get all the grime and everything and the oil and everything off your skin. So that sounds kind of like that's what this moisturizer has done in a gentler way, which
Right.
sounds really cool.
Yeah, it was just it was a good switch up for me, and I'll probably maybe finish out this, because it's a 1 ounce tube that I have, and so I'll probably finish that out. I'm gonna see if I can locate another small size just so I can keep it around, because I don't think it's gonna be, again, the permanent solution, because I don't think I'm going to have this problem ongoing. But for right now, whether it was environmental or hormonal or whatever, this has been a really nice product that doesn't over dry. I didn't want to go down the road of a lot of those oily skin products or the acne products. I
Yeah.
just wanted something that I thought was going to
Then you're
help
going
me
to
with the
cause
exfoliation and then the hydration. Yeah.
right, because I've done that. I've made that mistake in the past where I've gone too far. I've overcorrected,
Hmm.
and I've gotten like some anti-oil stuff, and like, you know, it's like
Yep.
Pert Plus for your hair, just sucks the moisture like right out of your
And
hair.
it just makes
So
you
like
more
I've
oily, though. It's
overcorrected.
weird.
Yeah, it
Yeah, you just
does.
get too much. Once you start stripping your skin too much, it just starts overproducing the stuff you don't want.
Yeah, that's so true. So that's a great recommendation. What was that called again?
It's the
Pour what?
Santorini Grape Poreless Skin Cream. Comes in a pretty little green tube. And well, the sample is in a tube. The full size, which is about $38, I think, for the full size at Sephora, is in a jar. And
And
it's the gel
that's
moisturizer.
and I'm also impressed because I don't have a lot of success with gel moisturizers
Hmm.
because they're usually not hydrating enough. But in this
Correct.
instance, you didn't really want that. So like the gel is the right vehicle delivery system there. So
Kind
that
of the
makes sense.
perfect consistency. And when I wait, a lot of times when I've used moisturizers in the past, other than Aqua Bomb, which is a gel moisturizer, I think in some consistency, that works great for me. But when I use a gel moisturizer, I wake up in the morning and I feel like I'm parched. I wake up in the morning and I'm just feeling like I could actually just slap makeup on without even going through my skincare in the morning.
That's impressive. That's really
Mhm.
impressive. Now that I think about it, because it's a Greek brand, I want to say, is it olives? Like
Yeah, it's
olive extract is
well,
is that
so
kind
let
of
me
their
tell you, because I
thing?
actually, that's right with their brand. They've got the grape extract in this one. So it's Santorini grape extract, which they say minimizes the appearance of pores. The salicylic acid, which unclogs the pores, aids in blemish reduction. The hyaluronic acid, which locks in and
It's
increases
going to stick with you
hydration.
now.
Exactly. I'm only going to do that. And yeah, so it's a clean brand as well. So it's gluten-free, it's vegan, it's cruelty-free. The package is recyclable. So it's part of the clean line at Sephora, which if you go to Sephora, they have a whole emphasis on clean products, and it's one of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I love that. And that's a brand that I haven't really thought about in a while. Because,
Hmm.
like you said, we get a lot of samples and we go through stuff and, and then you find something that works for a while and you stick with it. And, I'm kind of a creature of habit when it comes to that, but I'm
Yeah.
also not loyal at all to any one brand. And so the skin cycling, which I accidentally do, remember we were
Yeah.
talking about that a
I know.
while ago.
It's a
It's like,
trend that we fall into.
it's a word that like it's a term that I was doing all along, and it basically just means that you don't use the same product every night. You do like an
Right.
exfoliator one night, then extra moisture the next night, and then a different lactic acid or a retinol or whatever. And that's basically what I do. And it's just because it's just out of boredom. I walk
Right.
into the bathroom at night and I'm just like, what do I feel like doing tonight? And you just kind of base it on today I was feeling a little oily or today I was feeling
Hmm.
extra dry, and I kind of just go
Yeah.
from
What
there.
kind of time you have and how you're feeling. Right.
Yeah. So it turns out like kind of mixing it up, and that was remember when we were kids, that was the thing, like, oh, you should always change your shampoo every so
Yes. Which I
often so you
actually
don't get.
still do. I
I do
believe in that.
too. I do too.
Whether
I
it
notice
works
a
or
difference.
yeah, whether there's anything to it or not, I absolutely notice a difference when I switch up my
Yeah.
shampoo. And I also, and I know this is terrible, and maybe we'll have to have a hair expert on at some point to tell me why I'm killing myself slowly. But I've decided that the high end shampoos that don't foam, that are supposed to be so good for you without the
Hate
chemicals,
them. Hate them.
do not like them.
Hate.
I'd rather
I
pay
know that's a strong
$7.
word,
I
but
hate it too. $7 for Pantene so I can get some suds, because otherwise I don't feel clean. And I don't
mhm.
really think I am. I cannot go as long between blow dries without using a product that actually foams up.
I am with you, sister. I am with you because I have tried.
Call me cheap.
So and you know what, actually I think we should actually have a hair expert on, and I know
Yeah.
one who would be great. We should totally do that because we can talk about hair trends for the fall
Hmm.
and all kinds of maintenance and health, health care for your hair, because there are so many things that I've tried that everyone else swears by and celebrities get involved, and I just not a fan. So yeah.
Nope.
Speaking of celebrities,
I'm ready
so
for this. Lay it on me. You've been
all
trying
right.
this brand for
So
a while.
2 weeks ago, I've got all my little Rhode products here. I bought Hailey Bieber's Rhode skincare line. I got all three products. There's 3 steps.
It's
I
because
didn't get
she's
the
really
lip
hurting
thing.
for money, so I'm glad you're
I
supporting her.
know. I really like to support female-owned
The poor,
businesses.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Females who marry well, and
Yeah.
have their own careers in their own right. But so I don't remember why I decided to try this. It may have just been late night scrolling on Instagram.
Wine.
Maybe wine is always a factor because I like wine shop. I do. I
Yeah.
wine shop.
We all do.
So that was probably a factor. But I had some hesitancy going into it because several things. Number one, Hailey Bieber is what, 26?
This is my thing. She's a child. Yeah, she's young. She's very
She's
young.
26, right? I think she's 26. Maybe 27, but I don't want to age her because I feel like
Mhm.
she's in the 26 range. Not a whole lot goes wrong in your mid 20s with your
No.
face unless you have, and I've had friends who had this. I didn't have this because I always had dry skin, but there's some residual acne issues sometimes. Adult acne is a thing in your 20s, and I've had friends really struggle with it, and it's difficult.
Mhm.
Besides that, you're not really dealing with wrinkles. You're not
No.
dealing with, aging from the sun yet, photo aging. Like you're not really, those things haven't crept onto the scene yet. That's more for like your mid 30s.
Mhm.
That's when everything shows up. So honestly, like at first I was like, okay, maybe these products work, but are they going to work on someone who's even 35 and over? Like,
Right.
are these going to be effective products? The other thing that I kind of, and this is stupid on my part, but I kind of saw as like a little bit of a red flag, the price.
Mhm.
Each of these products is $29.
It's pretty good
That's
for a celebrity
significant.
skincare line. Yeah.
Yes. And significantly less than what I'm used to spending on products.
Mhm.
So when you get into that, like, everything's like 60, maybe plus, like maybe high 40s is kind of like where we would begin with a lot of the products that are in my bathroom. So
Right.
$29 for each product, that scared me a little bit. I was like, okay. But on the upside, it's direct to consumer. So a lot more money in those types of companies goes into research and development because they're not fighting for shelf space at
Right.
Sephora. So it's only available at Sephora online. You can't even get it in the stores. So I was like, okay, there's some pluses and minuses here. I'll give it a shot. So the first product that you try, step 1, is the Glazing Milk. Literally looks white and milky, like basically this is the prep step, and this has beta glucan and some peptides and stuff. So this would take the place of a toner or an essence, like the K.
So you're going to start with the clean face. She doesn't have
clean
a cleanser.
face.
Okay.
No, clean face. She should do a cleanser actually. Maybe that's next. Clean face, Glazing Milk. This goes on and it is so cooling and refreshing that it makes you like, I just stood there in the bathroom fanning myself. I'm like, this kind of feels amazing. Again, there's a lot of stuff out there that feels great, but it's like, is it really doing anything? So you
put it on with your hands or cotton? How'd you do it?
Yep. Hands. And then you sort of press it in a little bit at the end if you want. I always use too much product probably, but I don't care. I like it. And always remember, ladies, the Caroline Hirons, the skincare expert, her rule, TITTS, take it to the tits. So it's got to go all the way down.
All the way down.
And the back of the hands. Everything goes in the back of the hands, everything, So step 2, once it dries, is this is her peptide glazing fluid. This is the serum. Okay. This goes on. This is the glazed donut. This is where the glazed donut comes from. That's her whole ethos. Everyone should have glazed donut skin. This is the glazing fluid. This dries down really nicely. And it feels like it just absorbs, right? Like my skin drinks this stuff up. And I do think it's because the milk helps prep the skin for that next step.
Right.
And then her moisturizer is called the Barrier Restore Cream. BRC is what they refer to it.
Okay, so I'm hearing a lot about the barrier lately.
Yes.
Have you noticed that? That's a huge trend, is the barrier.
So, and when we spoke with Dr. Maxfield last week, if you guys haven't seen that episode, it's up on, the video version is up on YouTube. Just search Beauty Pop Podcast and you'll find it. And that's why I said to Dr. Maxfield, I'm like, until 2023, I never even heard the term barrier, skin barrier. Never heard that. It's everywhere. So that's what basically this whole cream is. It's a lightweight, but super moisturizing cream. And so this is the third step. And then when it dries all down, it gives you the glazed donut glow. I'm sure you've seen plenty of influencers, and Hailey Bieber herself, with no makeup on, she does the videos and stuff, and you can just see the glowy glazed kind of look. Right. So 2 weeks, and this is also, I'm wearing all 3 steps now with makeup on, but this has been my daytime routine, and I actually get in the shower and get out and look forward to it. I don't remember a time where I've actually looked forward to doing a skincare system like this, because normally I'm kind of haphazard. I do a serum here, an essence there, and a moisture, I'm all over the place. This has been a really fabulous addition, and I've noticed differences in my skin. The hydration level is up. I have natural redness. It's the Irish genes. I'm never going to get rid of it. Every dermatologist has told me I could laser my whole face off and it would still be red.
Yeah.
So, but the glazing fluid, though, apparently over time does help with the redness. I've noticed a little bit of reduction, especially in my cheeks, where that's where the bulk of the redness is. And I've noticed it's calming. It's kind of calmed down the redness. So I will never be, and I openly have admitted this for years, I will never be a woman who has skin who can walk out of the house without any makeup on and look good. There are plenty of women who can do that, and I am super jealous. Hailey Bieber herself often does videos with no makeup on. She looks gorgeous. Her skin's flawless. I will never be able to be that person. But this system, I have gone out without makeup on, and even my husband has been like, your skin looks really hydrated. Like your skin looks good. So then the final chapter of my Rhode review, which you can tell right now is pretty positive.
Yeah, I like it.
I was shopping. I was shopping with my mom the other day. And I looked at her skin and I was like, Mom, what's going on with your skin? It is so dry. It looks parched. Like I can see the dryness. She was like, oh, I'm struggling. My mom is super sensitive. I feel sorry for her because so many things that are even, dermatologist tested, it still gives her a reaction. She doesn't break
Yeah.
out, but she gets redness. Her eyes start like stinging and watering. It's a challenge for her.
Hmm.
So I decided the other day, I took her to lunch and I took the Rhode, just the barrier cream. I took that over to her house and I said, whatever's on your skin, we went out to lunch, then we went to Sephora. And and I said to her, I'm like, you know what? Like when we were in Sephora, she was looking for a new foundation. She wanted something that would give her a little more moisture.
Right.
We landed on House Labs. That's the Lady
Oh,
Gaga element of
okay.
this, which when my Chanel #1 runs out, which is what I'm wearing right now, I think I'm going straight over to Lady Gaga because my mom is 80 years old and she looked 10 years younger walking out of Sephora with the Lady
Wow.
Gaga House Labs. It's a thing, I think it's called triclone technology. It's like a
Hmm.
skin matching technology and it gives you this fabulous just glow from all angles. It's amazing. I'm going to do a
Is
full
it,
review when I actually get my color.
okay, so you do pick a color, but it's got
Mhm.
matching technology to you. So once you get close,
Yes.
it kind of becomes second skin. Okay.
Exactly. And it's meant to look exactly like second skin and it
Hmm.
does. So, but before the girl put that on, I didn't want my mom to try some random moisturizer,
Right.
cuz they did like the makeup wipe to take off what she did have on. And I ran to the car. I was like, I've got Rhode in the car. I'm going to run out.
Hmm.
And I brought it back in. So we did one half of her face with the Rhode moisturizer and then the Gaga House Labs over it. My dad, who like notices nothing,
Yeah.
she called me that night and said, "You're not going to believe this." Dad came in the door and said, "Wow, what did you do to your skin? It looks very glowy."
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
yeah. So my mom is completely sold now
Maybe you
on
sparked a little
Rhode.
date night for those two.
I know, right? And she bought the House Labs. She bought the Gaga foundation. She bought that. She bought a makeup brush. That's the other thing. She used to use her fingers. I'm like,
Yeah.
for certain formulas, you really do need a good brush, like a stippling brush that just
Hmm.
makes everything smoother and because you're losing a lot of product on your fingers. And she was
You
using a
do.
sponge before that. The makeup sponge thing I hate. I
I'm
hate
not
the
a big
makeup
makeup
sponge.
sponge either. I mean, I'll use it every once in a while, but usually use my fingers, but a brush is probably the best. I know every time I've had my makeup professionally done, that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So my mom got home. I dropped her off and I said, wash your face, take everything off, and we're going to do a
Mhm.
full treatment of the Rhode Barrier Moisture Cream. Let's just see if you have any type of reaction. So I said, sleep in it. Let's be, we have to be really cautious with her. So I said, let's just, see how it goes. So the next
Mhm.
morning she called me. She goes, you got to order this stuff for me. She's like,
Wow.
this stuff is amazing. So Hailey Bieber, and this goes back to the ageism
That
that I
little
assigned to Hailey Bieber.
26-year-old.
This little 26-year-old helped an 80-year-old lady with wrinkles
That's
feel and
awesome.
look amazing. The next thing I'm going to try with her, because I want to go slowly, but the next thing I think I'll try with her is either the glazing milk or
Yeah.
the peptide fluid. I think
So it's
maybe
the glazing milk, the peptide fluid, then the
yeah,
moisturizer or the
yeah.
skin barrier.
So yeah, I think I would maybe start next time because she's been using a toner from Clinique
Oh, that's got to
and
go.
it's
Don't we think?
it
It's got
went
to go.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
through everything and I was like, wait,
If
mom,
she's really dry, truthfully, she
yeah,
probably doesn't even really need a toner, to be honest.
no, I know. And so I looked at it and I'm like, poor refining. I'm like, mom, that's code for you have oily skin and
Yeah.
this is going to, I said, this is harming your skin so
That's what
much
I
more
was
than you
looking for in
realize.
this product, but that's not what I want all the
Right.
time. And if you're aging, you don't want it all the time.
No. And so I just think that the Clinique, the toner, no offense to Clinique, but like, come on, you have not
Yeah.
changed your formula since the 80s.
And
You
that's why
know,
some
when,
people love it, to be fair. They want the
yeah,
OG stuff. It's what works for them and good for them. But if you're noticing that it's not working anymore, it's okay to switch
yeah.
it up. It's okay.
Yeah. So she had this big bottle of toner. It's probably like $50 of toner. So we dumped that. She was using, I think like a Neutrogena. No, she was using the Clinique, the yellow the
Oh yeah.
moisturizer that's
I
been
can't
around.
stand that
Literally, our
stuff.
grandmothers used it. It's terrible. So
It
she was
is so
using that.
heavy and just sits there. Ugh, it's
It's
not my
it
favorite.
does nothing, and I could tell by looking at her skin. Her skin was just parched. And the other thing is she has been brand loyal to Clinique for so
Mhm.
many years because of her sensitivity, and it doesn't bother her skin. But
Right.
at this point, it's not helping her skin at all. So I was overjoyed that for $29, the Rhode Barrier Moisture Cream worked for her. And she said she felt like she woke up the next morning and felt like her skin had like a facial, like
I'm so
just a
glad she's
big drink of
tolerating it
water.
too. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's going to
The
be
nice
really
thing about
good
it,
for her.
yeah, and the nice thing about this too, there is absolutely no fragrance, none at all, no
Mhm.
fragrance, because fragrance is so, I don't know why people are obsessed with fragrance. It's so bad for you. It's
I
so
love
bad for
it,
your skin.
but it serves no
But
purpose
I
other
love
than to just go,
perfume.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love perfume, and sure, everybody likes stuff that smells nice. I mean, I've talked about the Glow recipe. Everything smells like a watermelon. Yeah, I love it. But
Mhm.
there's actually, I don't think there's synthetic fragrance in that. I think I checked those labels. But so the Rhode is, you know, dermatologist tested, absolutely no fragrance whatsoever. And this stuff, I mean, I'm so happy that my mom has found something that she loved, because at her age, especially when when you're marketed to at that
Right.
age, you're in the, oh, well, you need to spend $450 on a moisturizer
Absolutely.
for
Yep.
your mature skin. And I was so impressed that Hailey Bieber came up with something that literally works for all stages of
And I
skin
love her
and
price point.
age.
Again, I haven't tried the
29
line,
bucks.
but $29 to make it accessible to people. There are so many things that are out there, even stuff that we talk about here where you go, well, it's not accessible for everybody. If
No.
you're going paycheck to paycheck and you're trying to feed your kids and pay rent, you may not have that money laying around. So the
Yeah.
fact that it is something that is accessible, I give her props for that, because I think a lot
Yeah.
of celebrities go in really greedy. And even though we think they're great products, just because they cost $80, they probably don't need to cost $80.
No. And so, yeah, so my Rhode review is like 5 stars. I mean, I'm
Does
so
she have other
impressed.
products, or is it just the 3?
It's just these 3, and her glazing lip treatment is
Got it.
that's her big, like, you'll see, I think she just launched a new flavor. I don't know, cherry or I don't know, something. She just launched a whole new thing. Like, she was in New York City driving around in a Rhode car, like handing out lip gloss. It's like
Are
a
they colored?
glossy.
I don't know anything about the line, and I don't follow Hailey Bieber.
I don't
but
know if it actually tints your lips, but they
Just a
they do
flavor.
have it's like a jelly kind of thing that comes out of the squeeze tube. So it's a lip treatment. Maybe you get a little bit of color, maybe. I don't
Mhm.
know. But I don't need, that's like not a thing that I need. So
Yeah.
the one thing that I thought was strange, her starter kit only includes, it's a lip thing, and I
Mhm.
think maybe the glazing fluid and the cream, but not the 3 steps that I bought, which is
Okay,
strange.
that's weird. You would think
It's
they'd want to
weird.
put all those together.
Right.
Hmm.
So that was weird. But you know what? I have nothing negative to say. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this stuff for a really long time.
I
it's
love that
pretty
review.
fantastic.
I love that it's so positive too. And you always inspire me. I may
I'm
have
shocked.
to try that. I may have to try that next. Hailey Bieber and this is terrible because I'm sure she's a perfectly lovely lady, but I would have been totally turned off just because I feel like we don't have anything in common. She's 26. I'm over 40. I would think she's at a different stage in her life. I wouldn't think her product is all that great, but
Yep.
I'm happy to know that it is. And I'm happy to know that even your mom at 80 saw a difference. That's really cool.
Yeah. And that my dad noticed, like, that to me is the real
that's
test.
huge. Dads never notice that stuff.
Dads don't notice shit. And so like that is that was that I think honestly that made my mom feel so extra good.
Yeah.
That, like, when someone compliments you on your skin, you feel amazing, and so
Of course.
just to have him notice that, and for her to be like, order it, here's my credit card, order it right now.
See, what you do is say, Mom, they doubled the price, and then you buy yourself one too.
Then I get another set. I know.
Commission. So, it's called commission.
One thing I would say though, the Barrier Restore Cream, the size of the bottle, it doesn't seem, is 1.7 ounces.
So that's smaller.
Like, it's on the smaller side. I go through a lot of this, so I will probably it's probably good it doesn't come in a kit, because I will be reordering the moisturizer probably sooner than I will need. Definitely won't need the Glazing Milk. This has been 2 solid weeks and this is still 3/4 full. Wow. So the Glazing Milk goes a long way, which is also great because it's more bang for your buck. And and like in the middle would be the peptide serum. So I'm probably going to have to order things, in a staggered way, but $29 for something that's going to give you, I would say, maybe 2 solid months. That's pretty good. Damn good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great deal. It's better than you're going to get at the drugstore most of the time.
Oh, yeah. So congrats to Hailey Bieber, because not that you need my endorsement, but
good for her. No, but
congrats, because I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Because I wonder how much she struggles with that actually as a brand. I wonder if she struggles with the fact that people who are older and dealing with the skin issues are going to be like, maybe not, because I would
Yeah.
think that's probably a stigma. We laugh. I mean,
Hmm.
oh yeah, how horrible it is to be young and hot, but like that might be a stigma. People might
No,
not
but
take it
but she,
seriously.
I've watched a lot of her videos. She takes the research and the testing very
Yeah.
seriously, it would appear. So I would think that, yeah, that might be hard to not be taken seriously. But I think Rhode has already won a few beauty awards or has been
Hmm.
nominated. So it's been around since 2020. That's the other thing. She launched it right at the beginning of COVID. So I think that probably hurt and helped in
Yeah.
certain ways. So her fans, have been following her, and everyone was bored during the beginning of COVID. So,
Try
she may have
skincare.
actually, yeah, I mean, she may have actually done really well, and people did focus more on skincare. You have more time, and people were looking in Zoom cameras going, oh my God, look at my face. It looks
Hmm.
terrible. I need to work on my skin. So that probably did help a bit. But, I'm just really impressed that it works.
You're not the
I'm
only one, because
shocked.
it actually maybe a couple days ago I was just looking at whatever I was looking at on the internet, and I found, and I think it was either Elle or it was Vanity Fair, but they did a list of brands that aren't going anywhere, essentially, like beauty celebrity owned beauty brands that aren't going anywhere, because a lot of them are fly by night. And I
Yeah.
laughed because number one and number two on the list were Rhode, and then also Lady Gaga's brand, House Lab. So I thought that's so
Interesting.
funny because Victoria wants to do those on Beauty Pop. So it made me
Wow.
laugh. But
Okay. That's
yeah, they
cool.
were on this list along with a few other brands, but it was obvious that these are pretty serious, and that they, at least beauty editors, think they're going to stick around, that they are onto something. So you're not the only
Well,
one that thinks they're good.
and that's cool too, because, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, remember I reviewed the Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
moisturizer that I got a sample of? That her
Hmm.
company's called The Outset. I thought it was so lackluster.
Blech.
And
Right.
it was okay. It has squalane, it's vegan, but from the first application of Rhode, I
You
knew
liked
this
it.
was something special. Like, I just knew. I was like, "Oh, okay. If this keeps up overnight," because I started it at night, I was like,
Hmm.
if I wake up tomorrow and I'm still feeling like I feel right now, this is something, that
It's
there's
like a
something
winner.
here. Yeah, I'm like,
I love
okay,
that.
I was cautiously optimistic. But yeah, I mean, no offense to Scarlett Johansson, but like, I don't know. Like, what's your
Hailey Bieber
product? I
just
don't get
kicked
it.
your ass.
Hailey Bieber totally kicked your ass. You're right. It's so true.
Sorry.
So yeah. So anyway, so super happy with Rhode. Super happy and excited to try out for myself the House Labs foundation, because all of the makeup artists in Sephora were literally buzzing about it and
Hmm.
kept pushing my mom over to that, because she was going to do like, the Armani, that glowy, I forget the
Right. I think my mom
flawless
actually
liquid.
uses it. Yeah.
I used to use it. It's pricey. It's like $75 or something.
Hmm.
It's okay. It's fine. And the one makeup artist came over, and she was a little bit older. We had a beautiful young girl helping us, and then this older lady came over, and she was like, because she saw my mom, she overheard what we were looking for. She
Hmm.
goes, "I really think you need to go to House Labs." And I kind of looked at her and I'm like, Gaga's line for my mom?
Yeah.
Like I kind of had like a moment. I
Seems
was
like
like,
a
wait,
disconnect,
what?
right?
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh no, trust me." She was like, "Just trust me. Wait till you see it on her." And she looked 10 years younger walking out of the store.
That's
It just
incredible.
filled in, it plumped. It had a glow to, like, yeah, I'm excited. As soon as I'm kind of like trying to use my stuff up now more, because I want to move, because I know as soon as I make a change to House Labs, I'm gonna ditch Chanel, and I'm gonna have half a bottle sitting there, and it's gonna go to
Here's an
waste.
old reference for all you older people. Tammy Lee Baker over here, Victoria Keelan, is going to be layering on that foundation. Right?
Exactly.
You're like, just keep putting more on. I need a new bottle.
Yep, just keep putting more on. So yeah, I was really happy. So that was two big celebs of the week that very successful. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
I felt like it was a good week for skincare.
I agree. I feel a whole lot better. You've given a great review on Rhode. Now I'm gonna have to go start Googling and You know,
because our skin,
I always buy your suggestions. I'm
I always buy
influenced.
yours. I know, I always buy yours, but because our skin type is so similar, I am so curious. I almost like sent you a packet of it
Oh,
because
you're so funny.
I
I'll
was
check
like,
it out. I'll
Jen's
buy
gotta
it.
try this.
Yeah. Rhode. All right. I'm on.
Yeah,
I'm on it.
I'm really curious. And whatever you don't use, I'll buy from you and you can mail it to me.
If I don't like it. It's a money back
if you don't
guarantee.
like it. If you don't like it. But you know what, though? It's kind of interesting. I don't know if your mom has the same type of skin that we have, because I obviously get my dryness
She does.
from my
She's
mom.
not quite as dry as I am, but she definitely is, I would say, combination to dry for sure.
Because the Rhode stuff would work for her too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just we're gonna like single-handedly turn this brand from like a 25-year-old demographic
into an AARP.
to
yes,
to the AARP. You're welcome, Hailey. You're welcome.
That's right. We really did a number on you and your brand.
Totally. So real quick before we go, you and I we've been talking about this for weeks now. We always run out of time. So have you been streaming anything good? Any recommendations? We've got one good one and one not
okay,
so good
you
one.
give me your recommendations, because I need to collect my thoughts. I have been watching so many random things. I'm finally down the road of Love is Blind. I just watched season 1 and 2. I'm on season 3.
I haven't gotten on that train yet, even though so many people tell me to. I know.
It's interesting. I mean, I love a good dating show, and I noticed that the summer and the writer's strike and the actor's strike has given me a lot of time to catch up. So I really like that. I've watched a lot of movies, which I can't even remember if we talked about, but I've watched the Outlaws, which was very cute. I've watched Fatale, which was weird, overly violent, not a big fan. It was weird. It was fine. It was very predictable, but it was strange. And I just started, which I'm really loving. And again, I know I'm so late to the party, but Dead to Me with Christina Applegate.
That's great.
And so I just started that, and I really love that show. It's I don't even know what to call it, if it's a comedy or a drama, or I know they say dramedy, but it's a very quirky, good show. I'm just in season 1. I hear season 3 gets a little strange, but I'm liking it so far.
I haven't seen season 3 yet, but seasons 1 and 2 I really liked.
Yeah.
So the one show that I wanted to tell you about, because it involves a family friend, William Shatner.
Oh,
he has a show on Netflix called Unexplained.
Oh, I watched Unexplained,
and we are so into it. We just finished all of season 2, and each episode tackles a different cool topic, everything from studying the moon to ancient civilizations. Quick half-hour episodes, fabulous.
It started, I think, either on A&E or History. It's actually on network television as well. And he's great at that show, because he's got the voice for it, and he does a great job narrating it, and it's really interesting stuff.
It is. It's fabulous. So if you're looking for something that it's great for a couple to watch, you know, if you're not into Love is Blind and you can't get your guy to watch stuff with you, Lewis and I watch Unexplained together all the time. It's fabulous.
It's fun to talk about. It's like a catalyst for conversation too, which is cool. It's a good date show.
It is. It's perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much. If you can, leave us a rating and review. We always appreciate that. Follow Jen at Jennifer Horn Radio. Follow me at On Air Victoria. Follow us at Beauty Pop Pod. And thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week.